Hey everyone, today I'm doing a video talking to you about the Seller and Billet Subsonic ammo. This specifically is a 200 grain full metal jacket bullet. It's pretty common with other subsonic ammo for 300 Blackout to use open tip match bullets from certain manufacturers, which are excellent bullets. However, Seller and Billet wanted to take a little bit of a different approach. With those 220 grain bullets, you're basically taking a bullet that was designed for one cartridge and then forcing it into a different cartridge, which can be successful, can be not. I've shot 220 grain bullets that have performed very well. However, what Seller and Billet wanted to do was make a bullet that was dedicated, built around designing a subsonic 300 Blackout bullet. And so they came up with this 200 grain full metal jacket. One of the biggest appeals of this is its cost. I've seen these online for under $13 a box for 20 rounds. So we're talking about 65 cents a round, which for subsonic ammo out of a 300 Blackout is excellent. Good luck finding that anywhere else. So because of that cost, I see a lot of people asking about this ammo and if it's any good. So I wanted to test it. We shot, I think 240 rounds of it today. So definitely a good sample size of it. We shot it fast, we shot it slow, we shot it suppressed largely, and I did do a group unsuppressed just to see if it would cycle, which, I'll roll in here in a second. Actually, you know what? I'll roll it in right now. So I wanted to test out if the subsonic ammo would cycle through my rifle with just a regular muzzle brake on there, not suppressed. Now, this does not have a history of cycling subsonic ammo, so I don't anticipate it will, and I'm not going to hold it against it if it doesn't, just because, again, this doesn't cycle any subsonic ammo. But I figured just for sake of trying, I'm going to go ahead and try it out just for reference. It's a pistol length gas system on a 10.5-inch barrel. I have a Spikes STT2 buffer, and then a standard mil-spec buffer spring. So we'll see if it cycles. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected. Okay, so like I said, didn't expect it to cycle, but I figured it was worth trying on camera. So as you can see, like I said, I didn't expect it to cycle just with my experience with other subsonic rounds. But, again, that was to be expected. However, with this Silencer Spec War, it has functioned almost flawlessly. We did have one issue. We did have one failure to feed. Now, the thing is, we've been shooting this a lot today, so it could be that it's getting a little bit dirty. Or it could be the magazines. The magazines we're using today, we've used Gen 3 mags, Gen 3 PMag, it's either a 1 or 2 20-round mag, whichever one is straight up and down. We've used Lancer mags, and we've used aluminum D&H mags, and all of those are designed for 5.56. So whether or not the mag was the issue will kind of remain to be seen, but one issue out of 260 rounds isn't terrible. And again, I think that the magazine was the biggest issue there. But once I get one of the 300 Blackout mags, hopefully we'll be able to test more and see if that was indeed the issue. I don't see it being a problem at all. So one of the things that we wanted to try, or to try to demonstrate as far as for the camera, was how loud this is versus supersonic rounds. I'm shooting the MagTech 123 grain supersonic rounds. It's always hard to get a good idea of how loud it is over a camera. So what we did was we took a magazine and staggered it between supers and subs. Okay, so the video I'm going to do right now is going to serve double duty between both my MagTech ammo video and my Subsonic S&B ammo video. What I've done is I've staggered rounds between supers and subs in this magazine. I have a Silencer Spec War on the front of this 300 Blackout SBR right now. Never when you're watching a video with a suppressor do you get a true feel of the sound quality coming through. However, you should be able to get a pretty good difference between the supers and the subs, and this will also give you an opportunity to kind of hear a little bit of how the supers suppress. So let's see if this one works better. Okay, so super and sub. Now we'll do a couple back to back. I can tell you, at least on our end of it, it was super quiet with the subs. What was your take on how loud it was?
Well, the difference between the Subsonic and the Supersonic was really significant. I listened to it through the cans. I listened to it with with the naked ear. I've shot 22s that were louder, without ear protection. It was very quiet. The report back from was negligible. There was nothing there. So you basically heard the rifle cycle.
Yeah,
pretty much is all you really heard.
And I have a silent spring kit in this thing from Damage Industries, and even with that silent spring, that was really all I could hear. You hear the spring and you hear the impact. It is extremely quiet outside of that, at least on the shooter end.
Indeed.
Maybe different downrange, but I'm not going to stand downrange while this guy's shooting it.
We're not going to be doing that.
At least not today.
Not on camera.
Maybe not on camera. But so definitely quiet. If you had to shoot inside inside a building, let's say, Subsonic 300 Blackout is a very good way to do it, and the Silencer Co. Spec War was a very good suppressor for that. Indeed. Obviously, your results as far as suppressibility will vary from suppressor to suppressor, but I can say that the Spec War has performed very well with the Subsonic that I've shot. We didn't do a whole lot of accuracy testing with it today. That is going to be coming in an upcoming video. I'm going to be doing a series where I do accuracy testing across a bunch of different 300 Blackout factory loads. I have Vortex supplying the scope for that, so we should be able to get some pretty good groups. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'll also be doing the chronograph testing during that, so you'll be able to get an idea of what kind of velocities we're dealing with. But it's all subsonic. We didn't have any single one of them break that sound barrier, which is going to be pretty hard to do with a 200 grain bullet. You'd have to really cram that powder in there to make that happen. So at this point, after shooting the amount of ammo that we shot of this stuff, I can say that I would recommend picking it up. Again, we did have that one failure to feed, but I don't think that's ammo related. So I would definitely encourage any of you who have also shot this, which I know a lot of you have, to leave your experience in the comment section below. Let other people know what your experience has been. If there are certain mags that don't seem to work with it. I do plan on picking up some of the 300 Blackout optimized mags here in the future, so we'll see if that changes anything. But as far as just Subsonic 300 Blackout at all in general, could you see yourself building a 300 Blackout just to shoot subs out of it?
Absolutely, especially with this kind of ammo that we've been shooting today. This would be really good for shooting out of a car, shooting indoors, kill houses, what have you, that kind of thing. Any kind of room clearing training, this stuff is going to be really good for that. It was super, super quiet. Again, we're not too sure about the accuracy, but in close quarters and short range, this is going to be really excellent ammo to have.
Yeah, and realistically, when you're shooting Subsonic 300 Blackout, I personally don't recommend people... because there are people who like to hunt with Subsonic 300 Blackout, which I don't generally recommend. But I don't tell people to shoot past 100 yards with it. I think with the zero I have set up on this, at 200 yards, I'm looking at 36 inches of drop. So not something you want to be shooting at long range anyway. So at the distances we're talking about, this is definitely going to be more than enough. And like I said, at the price that this is coming in at, you're going to be hard-pressed to find anything cheaper that you're not hand-loading yourself. So I highly recommend checking this stuff out. I know that MagTech, which is also under the same parent company, is going to be coming out with some subsonic ammo as well, which I'll definitely test when that comes out. But for the time being, if I need ammo to shoot subsonic that's not going to, destroy my budget, I definitely think I'm going to be looking for more of this S&B ammo. You guys know S&B quality. A lot of people use their components to reload. They're making all their components in-house, which is one of the reasons they're able to drive that cost down. But again, I highly recommend this stuff. Definitely look for it. I'll try to find some links to put in the description box so you guys can find this for yourself to shoot it. Also have a recap on this whole 300 Blackout build, so you guys can look into that if you think it looks sexy, which I personally do. I don't know what Christian's opinion is, but I think it's good. But yeah, all that said, good stuff. Definitely check it out. Try to find it near you. It's good, cheap subsonic ammo, which is hard to come across. And I would say it was fairly clean. For subsonic suppressed ammo, it seemed fairly clean. I did cloud up my glasses a bit after shooting something like 80 rounds nonstop.
Yeah, it did throw a little bit of dust back at us, but not as bad as some that I've shot.
Yeah, definitely not as bad as like a 5.56 suppressed, in my opinion. And you guys will see from the video how much gas we were dealing with, but definitely not too bad. If I had an adjustable gas block, that'd probably help. But anyway, I've droned on long enough. Obviously, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and throw those in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you as quick as I can. If those guys were shooting subsonic, you'd definitely be able to hear me a lot better right now. Hopefully you can still hear me, but I might try to get them to shoot this so we can still talk here. But as always, I hope you're able to get something out of this video, and I really appreciate you watching.
Dropped it. That was embarrassing. Sexy. Nice.
Veg is fine. That veg is fine. That veg is fine. Don't worry, I'll load your